Another day, another person trying to convince the world that Elon Musk knows nothing about anything and just completely lucked out becoming the world's richest man with multiple companies under his belt that started pretty much from nothing and now are extremely successful. This time, Destiny is gonna take it upon himself to put Elon Musk down in the ground where he belongs. It's gonna be a wild ride, boys. And to just contextualize a little bit what's gonna happen here, all of this is just from the fact that Elon Musk spoke openly in a Twitter conference call or something, and some ex-employee that he fired is really mad about it and wants to make him look bad. And in the result, both of them look bad, but this is gonna get wild. So the start's gonna be a little bit slow, but man, it's gonna ramp up real hard.
Accurately recommend tweets to you that you don't explicitly follow. It can by the same token also show ads that are relevant to you.
So the way that a lot of platforms do ad sales and a lot of like purchasers expect ads isn't necessarily I'm going to give you these ads and I trust you to serve them to the right people. It's usually almost the opposite, where it's I want to target this group of people in this region who went to a Jiffy Lube in the last 72 days. That level of micro-targeting is something a lot of ad buyers now expect, and like it's a huge part of how CPMs can get so high on platforms like YouTube. But sometimes
Yes, this guy is, by the way, right on that. A lot of platforms, especially platforms that get people on them, do it exactly in that way because people want targeted ads. Very rarely people just are gonna throw money into the nether and see where it lands, and maybe it does good, maybe it does bad. No, people want to maximize specifically where they're targeting ads, and the more tools, the more options to target specific people, the better. This is what every company pretty much does.
these advertisers will serve entirely different versions of the same ad to different
Can you turn this guy
demographics.
off, please? He's just talking nonsense. Thanks.
Elon Musk's just being a little bit petty here.
So I've actually talked to the advertisers. If Twitter,
I know you can do those types of ad buys with AdSense, and I know you can do those types of ad buys with Facebook, those specifically. It wouldn't surprise me if that was also available for other large-scale social media platforms.
Features as high as possible.
Yes. I mean, I think, frankly, if you want to have a really
That guy that got kicked watches your content? Wait, really?
velocity of features, I think we'll just need to do a total rewrite of the whole thing.
Wait, seriously, a total rewrite. That's your prediction for velocity.
Yeah.
Well, when you say a total rewrite, do you mean starting with the skeleton, or a bunch of engineers sit down with a whiteboard and say, what is Twitter? Revolution or reform?
I mean, I just mean like literally, like there's like you could either try to amend the crazy stack that exists, or rewrite it.
But when you
It has to sound, I don't even know. I don't know. I truly don't. But I feel like I'm getting through the universe osmosis. I'm feeling like I'm a programmer and I'm listening to every like small business random loser manager in the fucking world. Like some guy read an article on fucking TechNet and now he contacts his devs and he's like, guys, I think we need to do a total rewrite. And the devs are like, what the fuck do you mean? And it's like, we just need to do a total rewrite, I think. I think it would be good for the code base. We need to do a total rewrite. What do you mean?
when you say
So, I'm gonna give context so you understand what the problems here are. The problems here are, while Disney is spazzing out like this, while those people are spazzing out, is because Elon Musk is talking about programming stuff, and while I have absolutely no idea about electronics in general and call them witchcraft, and I'm kind of semi-serious with that, Elon Musk is doing absolutely nothing out of the ordinary here. In fact, this is completely normal. People are freaking out in situations like this because of an extreme misunderstanding about how companies are run. And I'm gonna give you a breakdown how in reality companies work. Twitter is not gonna be run by someone who understands code. The head of Twitter should not be someone who understands code, because code is irrelevant for Twitter. Yes, Twitter works because of code. Twitter is based off of code. Everyone knows that. But you don't need a guy to run Twitter who understands code, because you need to understand that there's not a single person on Twitter who's there because they think, wow, Twitter is such cool code. No. People like that don't exist. So the idea that the head of Twitter should understand code is a huge misconception. This is a huge misconception in business in general. People think that the CEOs of companies should understand the field that they are working at. I have said this a million times for finances, that if you're good at finances, if you're good at understanding numbers, you don't actually need to even know what you're selling. You're still going to make good decisions because you're just smart. As long as you see the numbers, it doesn't matter if you're selling bread or cars, you're still going to do good numbers. And this is the misunderstanding. People think if someone owns a bakery that they need experience at actual baking. I personally know a guy who saved up money, opened up a bakery, and that guy can't bake. He just had enough money and he was convinced that he's gonna find the right people who can do what he wants and are good at baking. And he's running a semi-small successful business with baking, and he doesn't know how to bake. But obviously, since we're talking about Twitter, let's talk about bigger scales, bigger optics, to see how the world really functions here. Let's take the European car industry for an example. You got things like Volkswagen, Scania, Audi, Audi not really, but all of that thing. And you know what these companies have in common? The CEOs of these companies don't know how cars work even. In a lot of cases, they don't know how a car is built, because CEOs are not supposed to know these things. A CEO can understand the basic principles of these things, and in this case, Elon Musk understands the basic principles of coding, by the way, that's 100% true, but CEOs don't understand these things. In gaming companies, in a lot of cases, CEOs of gaming companies don't even play video games. And in the car industry, I'll make it even more complex and more out of this world for some people. When it comes to the car industry, usually the biggest car, well, not usually, 100% almost, the biggest car industry manufacturers have their own type of program where you can look chassis numbers of cars up and things like that, and find find small details and things like that. And that thing is pivotal. Absolutely pivotal to the way these companies function and how they do things and how they make money. Without those programs nowadays, those companies would be leaking money in so many places. They would be missing out on so much profit. Most CEOs of car companies don't even know how to get to the search function and programs like that they have. But they know it's important, and they're just good because they hired the right people for the right job. You don't need to be a CEO and know actual intriguing details about the subject that you are talking about. Most CEOs in the world for companies are picked because they're just business savvy in general, because they understand money and they understand ideas and are good at making ideas that make the money flow faster and harder.
Crazy stack. What do you mean? Like, break it down.
Yeah, wait, what part doesn't work? What is it?
Yeah, and all of this is just because Elon doesn't understand technobabble. The brutal reality is, I'll tell you from literal personal experience, I also don't understand technobabble. But when it came to making decisions for that technobabble, my word in a lot of cases was more important than the word of the actual tech people, because I was simply more trusted and liked than those people. That's the reality of this world.
The whole stack.
Have you seen?
The whole stack needs to be, all of it. The front end of the stack, the back end of the stack.
Break it down.
Have you seen George's diagram?
No. I mean, like,
Both people are, by the way, looking absolutely terrible here. Elon Musk, by the way, is there not because he's smart at these things. Elon Musk is not some kind of guru 1 in a billion type of CEO. Elon Musk is actually one of the most common CEOs that you can actually find in the world. There's a million billion Elon Musks, but he's just better at making a couple of decisions than other people. And this is the most common type of CEO. A lot of CEOs are like this. They are just smart enough to find the right people for the jobs, and they fire the wrong people for the job. They are smart enough to recognize if a person understands what they're talking about, and if a person will do what they want them to do. If you don't fit that, they're gonna fire you. Elon Musk is a shining example of exactly that type of CEO. It's nothing special, really. He's not even unique. He's just good at making those decisions.
What do you mean by
you?
crazy? No, seriously.
Do
crazy
you?
stuff. Come on, buddy. Come on.
Who are you?
And in practice, by the way, how these situations work, I have seen like this doesn't surprise me at all. I have seen these situations firsthand many times. People who don't know about what they're talking about. Well, Elon Musk does know a little bit. If you know his history, then he has coding experience and things like that. He probably wants really to get things neat and organized. That's probably a serious shtick that he actually has there. But in a lot of situations, you have bosses just getting the people that they trust, and then they're saying, okay, I want to do this, and we're gonna do it. We were gonna do this, and then all the people that are there and that are trusted by that person start saying, "Okay, if we want to do this, then we should do this, and we can't do this because this is gonna be bad." And then the boss just crystallizes the ideas. That's how, in practice, these situations work. Elon Musk there is just because he really, 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 really likes to be the center of attention for everything, and that's no secret, by the way. Elon Musk absolutely loves and thrives from attention. He wants attention so bad.
Who are you?
What do you mean, who am I? I don't know.
Okay. Okay, I don't...
This is going to be such a spaz out. This video is going to be hard. Because I have already watched this, by the way, and that's why I'm making the video. There's so much wrong with this that needs to be explained to make sense. It's just insane.
Okay.
Stop spazzing out.
Counterpoints did this to me. It's so hard to balance out not getting triggered and calling people out.
True.
If I was in an argument with somebody and we were arguing about some like esoteric music topic, I remember there was a YouTube video that we saw a long time ago. And I think I even called Albert, and I was like, the guy in this YouTube video, he says that the key of this song is an F sharp. I don't think so. I think it's in B. And if I were to have that argument with somebody, and somebody was like, why would you say it's an F sharp and not in the key of B? This is how I feel like these people answer the question.
By the way, this is also already a failed argument because he called in a second opinion that he thought is a specialist that can confirm or deny what he says. That will be important. I just want to point that out.
Well, I mean, like, I went to music school, and it's obviously in B. I've studied this a lot. It's in, like, and that's the answer they give. One, why the fuck are you citing your credentials? Just talk on it. If you know it, then you should be able to speak on it, right? If you want to argue, like, oh, well, I think it's in this key because I see this cadence here. If you listen to the way this sounds here, it's obviously approaching this. The tonal center of the piece is here. It's reinforced by the melody and the harmony here. Like, the way that the piece begins and the way that the piece ends clearly implies, like, this structure. Like, I would be able to argue every single term, every single thing, and I would never, ever bring up that, oh, well, I went to school for music. Because you would know. You would know that I'm educated. I don't have to cite a credential. I'm obviously knowledgeable on the topic.
Okay, so Disney is right here, but at the same time, he's extremely wrong. So first of all, asking for credentials is a very human thing to do. We do this in almost every conversation because, you know, someone tells you something completely off the wall, you're gonna ask them, hey, can you, like, provide a source to that or something like that? It's completely normal. So asking for credentials is also normal. Yes, you can have a conversation where you don't need to ask for credentials because both people are on the same level and they understand that the other person also can talk about this subject. That is normal. You don't always need to provide credentials, but the brutal matter of the reality is most of the time that's going to be needed. He kind of failed his own argument here a little bit by saying previously that he wasn't that the author of some YouTube video said X, Destiny thought a Y, and then he brought in a third person who is most likely educated in music, has a background, or is good at music to split the difference, aka a professional, aka literally someone with credentials. Now, this all stems from a very common misconception that people have. And Destiny definitely falls under the category of these people. Destiny, I'm 100% almost certain that this is exactly Destiny's life story. Before he became famous on the internet, he was a literal nobody with no prospects for the future. He was a carpet cleaner. His music knowledge is band camp or something in school. And, you know, kindergarten level of playing an instrument or something like that. And I think he wanted to become a professional, but then he absolutely failed at that or something. So in a situation like this, depending on what's the video, if the video was done by some kind of recognized musician, then Destiny, then if I would, and then, you know, that recognized musician says that, well, you know, this music was done in B minus, I'm kind of gonna think that he's most likely more correct than the guy whose musical career peaked when he was in boy band, and everyone who wanted to play in boy band got in because there were not enough people to play in boy band. I'm gonna instantaneously flat out assume, well, this is not always correct, by the way, and you should keep an open mind. I'm gonna assume that the professional guy who did the music video, if it's a professional, and I'm kind of implying that it is because I have no idea what he's talking about, I'm gonna instantaneously give more credence to that person because he actually has experience, and Destiny's experience is equivalent to a joke. And knowing all these music terms and everything doesn't mean shit, because I have seen a lot of people who know some kind of weird fucking esoteric terms for things, but they don't actually know shit. Most of the time, if you can't talk a plain language when talking about a subject, you kind of don't know anything anyway, because using complicated words is not necessary in any way indicativeness of intelligence. You see that? Indicativeness of intelligence? You see what I did there? You know, it's in no way any of that. And a real world example would be, I have seen this a lot in warehouses. In active big warehouses where stuff happens. Where the basic employees, you know, the ones that just lift the boxes and move the boxes, so insanely many times, when someone is doing menial labor and not actually doing the thinking labor part, they think that they know how things are better and faster and so on. They think that that their managers are complete morons, complete idiots. And I have said these examples many times before, and I probably keep saying them until the end that I die, because it's so true. This is just absolutely 100% true. Those lower level people see some kind of problem, and they tell their managers or whoever that, yeah, that's a problem, we should fix it. And he just brushes them off or doesn't do anything about it, you know? This should be an easy way to improve our efficiency, right, boss? And the manager just completely brushes them off. Now, sure, there exists a world of possibility where the manager is a complete moron, and he just doesn't even understand anything. But most of the time, that has already been thought about, considered, and it's most likely useless because of 3 steps ahead that they have already been thinking, because they know that there's coming a new contract with someone who's going to use the warehouse next, or things like that. You know, they have already thought about it. But the people at the bottom do not know that these things are even a factor. They see the most basic thing, and they think that they are right because they see it. No, in a lot of cases it's just bad. And this is the thing about authority. This is why it matters. And Destiny, as someone who doesn't actually have real credentials in music, because again, pretty sure he tried, I may be wrong here, but I'm pretty much almost 100% sure that this was his life story, that he tried to become a musician, but then he fucking failed because he doesn't have talent. You know, when comparing him, someone who did music you could call as a hobby, against a real musician, I'm instantaneously gonna kind of sway towards the real musician being a better and smarter. Because if you do something for a living, you probably know about it a lot more. AKA, your knowledge compared to a normal person is, you know things that the normal person doesn't even know that they don't know. And the fact that the fact that someone says, well, I know these esoteric terms, doesn't mean anything, because they may not matter.
Like, I would know. Whenever I feel people reaching for credentials or using big buzzwords, one of two things can either happen. Either one, you push them on it, and then you're like, oh shit, this guy knows a lot of shit. Like, this guy's about to bury me in information, which is cool. That's cool talk. Or they're like,
yes.
Like, who are you? Buzzword, buzzword, buzzword. And it's like, do you know what you're talking about?
Yes, Elon Musk doesn't exactly know what he's talking about, but you need to understand Elon Musk's perspective from this situation. Some literal nobody that he fired, he doesn't know that he fired him, by the way, is trying to make him look bad, and he knows that, by the way, that guy is trying to just make him look bad. And it doesn't matter. Because Elon Musk is going to make these decisions, he's going to consult people that actually are, I don't know, 100 times smarter than that guy who's trying to make him look bad. It doesn't matter to him. And that's why he's asking for credentials, because when you actually are in the ladder, when you're actually in high positions, you suddenly understand that credentials actually do matter. Because the credential is the first thing, their position is the first thing that you actually even contemplate, are they smart about the topic. Because the lower the person is, the chances are the more invaluable not invaluable, but the less valuable their opinion is, because it already has most likely been thought of. And again, I have seen this so many times. Oh, actually, I know this. I know that this is a good example for some people, because a lot of some bosses do it just to keep morale up in certain departments and things like that. They're gonna do this thing where you have this meeting once a week or something like that, where the boss says like some kind of thing that they're gonna do, a problem or something like that, and then people give their suggestions. And what you're going to see extremely commonly, pretty much like 99% guaranteed, is that the ideas that presented by the lower standing employees are going to be things that you have already contemplated, the things that you already have taken into account and brushed off for one or another reason, or maybe you're going to do it. That's what usually happens.
This is the Elon sounds like he's clueless here, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that if I were to bring like Jader into Discord, and I was like, why don't we rewrite everything in PHP, I'm pretty sure he would be able to answer. One, he would probably call me retarded and leave, but then two, he'd probably be able to explain for a lot of reasons why it's not an appropriate way to like approach this project, and he'd probably be able to give me like a lot of good reasons for it. He wouldn't just say like, I'm a programmer, trust me, I'm a developer, trust me, right? He'd have a lot of reasons for it.
Actually, considering I do know programmers and whatnot, when programmers see people who are absolutely incoherent about things, they do actually tell you, dude, just relax, I'm gonna do it, okay? That's exactly, by the way, what they tell you. They're not gonna bother explaining things to you, because they know even if they explain it, it's just a waste of time, because you're not gonna understand it or remember it. That's just a funny small thing.
Yeah, I don't know. The fact that he can't cite a single thing, if you're asking for like a full rewrite or whatever, you could at least use like a like cliche answer of like, oh, well, there's 30,000 lines of code and it could be written in 10. Or, I don't know, something retarded like that. That's even still, that's stupid. But to say nothing when you're talking about like probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in dev hours that you're talking about taking a product that's already like on the market and you want to rewrite the whole thing and you don't have a single fucking answer for that. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say.
Literally, I kind of understand where people with zero experience in business and actually big business would think that this is out of whack or insane, but this is actually pretty fucking common. This is very normal. But usually just the public doesn't actually hear about these things, but these things are super common.
Say that like this one particular error is that horrible, which it is. What I'm saying is like it's indicative.
And it's not.
Such a low IQ thought process. And Elon should...
And it's not. This is why I actually did all the break pods, because it's not. This is such a stupid misconception. The fact that Destiny has absolutely no experience on these subjects and he doesn't understand how big firms function, how CEOs think, or why CEOs are even important or anything, it's just, well, saying this is the stupidest thing that you can do. Judging Elon Musk's competence on fucking managing Twitter on the fact that he doesn't know how to code is mind-blowingly stupid. Like, how... I wonder how is SpaceX successful? Because Elon definitely doesn't know how those rockets function. He's not an architect, he's not an engineer, he's not a crayon drawer. He doesn't know anything about it. But it somehow magically functions and is successful. Insane, huh?
Be better than that. There's so much stuff I've seen from this guy, and I hate to say this because it sounds so arrogant and stupid of me to say it, but there's so much stuff I've seen from this guy where like, did he luck into the billionaire shit completely?
Okay, so this is what pisses me off. He thinks he lucks. This thing has 100% seen at least one video about Elon's backstory. And all of those backstories pretty much go something along these lines. Elon Musk was not the original founder of Tesla. Elon Musk was actually already born a millionaire. Elon Musk this, Elon Musk that. And a lot of people, their takeaway from those videos is when they hear about what he did in Tesla, how his life went, what was the decision making that he did. A lot of people's takeaway from that is just, ha, Elon Musk actually didn't make Tesla. And I'm sorry, if you actually watch those videos and that's your takeaway, you're gonna have a seriously hard time convincing me that you understand anything about business whatsoever. Because when I heard Elon Musk's life story, and again, it's pretty much always the same, I was mind blown how actually competent that guy is. Because let me rephrase it, what you should actually have heard from that story. First of all, Elon Musk was born into a family of millionaires, and he took those millions, turned it into 10 millions, then 100 millions, then into billions, and now he's the richest man in the world. That's like a super easy summary, but now let's get into a little bit more interesting stuff like Tesla. So first of all, Elon Musk made some kind of random code that wasn't that good, but the idea was so solid that he already made millions there. He leveraged his position in multiple companies to an extremely finite level that he got the absolute biggest bag when he left from those companies. He wasn't the founder of Tesla. He saw Tesla as something that he thinks will be successful. He put in money in it. He put enough money in it to get a huge stake, to get the biggest bag out of Tesla possible. And when he saw an opportunity, he put himself in the leadership position of Tesla because he was the biggest investor and he leveraged himself perfectly in that situation. Furthermore, after that leverage was done, he brutally first of all, he forced the original creators of Tesla to name him a co-founder. He bullied the original creators of Tesla to name him a co-founder. That's absolutely absurdly high achievement on its own, by the way, if you're not following. But then he brutally ousted the original creators of Tesla and left them with nothing. He has shown absolute incredible business savviness through decision after decision. And that's all visible in his life story. But no, some people just go away with the idea that, Elon not make Tesla. That's the takeaway. And this is insane. If you hear about his life story and those are not the points that you are concentrating on that I just named, you're insane. You just don't understand business. You just don't understand what's important.
Completely? Is he just a dumb fuck? And then like between him and Trump, like I wonder, like, can you actually be in the right place at the right time and make a good investment and become a billionaire? Because Elon, when I listen to him talk, he doesn't come off as a smart person. I've heard smart people talk before. There are some people I was talking to that are intimidating me. Reckful was a smart person. There are some people I talk, the Sean Carroll guy. There are people on podcasts like, this is...
True. I would also say that Reckful was a smart person. But I think this is called I think this is called some kind of fallacy, that there's a name for this. But essentially, the situation goes like this: the stupider the person listening and the smarter the person talking, the more it seems to the stupid person that the smart person is stupid, because he's just completely unable to understand what he's saying. And from everything that Disney has demonstrated here about business knowledge and savviness, he's completely out of his water. All of his experience in business, and again, I'm gonna bring up the standards. He has none. All his business experience is pretty much from, just most likely random people that have told him things. He's a business owner. I don't know what business. I think it's probably the YouTube thing, because that's what everyone names a business. And I know that he has an editor that makes videos and makes thumbnails and whatever. By Disney's logic, if we ask him, Disney should understand why this video, for example, has X thumbnail, why everything that you see in the thumbnail is there, why the colors chosen for this are that, and so on. But he most likely does not know everything, why the colors were chosen, why things were done like that. Because that's, again, not something that he should be worried about, because he has someone that he trusts to do the job correctly.
A smart person. Elon sounds like a guy that got stoned, and then he's giving you ideas for like, what if we dig tunnels everywhere? Now, I don't want to take away from his...
The tunnel thing is also hilarious. He's talking about the Las Vegas tunnels. I have seen a video about it, and it is an absolute disaster. But Elon Musk got out of that deal everything that he wanted. He got the fame, he got the fortune, he got his branding out. He got so much from that deal. Yes, it's a disaster, but not for Elon Musk. For Elon Musk, that deal was great. It's free advertisement. It's a huge thing that people talked about. It's insanely great. For Elon Musk, that situation turned out so good.
His legacy, again, I will say, SpaceX is awesome, Tesla is awesome, and he was an innovator and he pushed those ideas really hardcore, and that's cool. But I will say, there was a clip that got posted to the subreddit a while ago, I think like 3 days ago, where it was like, called it. Can somebody link that clip? Because I described it perfectly. I described it perfectly in that clip. Destiny, Elon has made multiple decisions that have gotten him to billions, though. Yeah, but now I'm wondering, like, how much is luck versus how much is, like... Because, like, a lot of people make a lot of decisions. Invariably, some of them will be billionaires, right?
Technically, he's right. But I don't... Okay, I'm gonna tell you one of the most absolute brutal things about life that I have personally seen. I have never once in my life met a person who I considered to be smart and capable, who was in a bad situation in life, aka he was working a dead-end job and nothing like that. No. All the people that I have considered smart in my life are literally managerial positions or higher. And the people, and obviously there are like 18-year-olds and things like that I have seen and that I have thought, yeah, they're pretty smart. Usually what happens after a while, they also make it to these higher elevated positions. I have never once in my life, in the long period, I called someone smart and they ended up like, someone who just, moves and stacks boxes in their life. No. So yeah, and I can't call Elon Musk stupid. So there's that. And I haven't actually heard about any billionaire who is a complete moron. Well, there definitely are some, but the idea that Elon Musk just completely lucked out in all of this is insane. It's such cope. Is he waiting for the clip?
There are a lot of good reasons to potentially rewrite Twitter in regards to things like tech debt and whatnot, but the overall entire site like Twitter would cost millions to redo. It's not a bad idea, but there's no way in hell he's going to pay for that. So, yeah, sure, but like tech debt, that's like another in my opinion.
I don't even know what the word tech debt means, by the way.
That's a buzzword, right? That's like the thing where it's like, this is 50,000 lines of code and we could write it in 5,000. Like, if you have real tech debt, you should be able to say something like, dude, I'm so outside of my area of expertise.
But by the way, just from the way Elon Musk seems like a person, SpaceX most likely has all of its code extremely neatly and tidy. Elon Musk very much values things like not working from home, most likely people who can get things done, and if someone can't get things done right on time, that they actually give notice that something's gonna not be on time. He most likely values these things extremely, and by the way, so do I, because in my experience, people who actually follow these things are in general more capable than the average person. I have said this before, but I think if you think that you can do your job from home well, then most likely you're not in any meaningful position. That's just the reality. You're most likely not in a meaningful position, or you're a director of a branch or something like that, where you actually can, because people just need to tell you things, and it's things like that. But usually, that just means you're not in a valuable position and you're not valued as an individual who contributes.
But in my opinion, like, what the feeling would be is that, like, I would say, I have tech debt, I need to do a whole rewrite. That sounds retarded. But if I'm like, I want to add X, Y, and Z features, and somebody's like, we can add those features, but because of like the implementation of our shit that we have right now, it's going to be really hard, really jankety. It's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah, and that's exactly something that someone will tell Elon Musk.
Blah, 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 blah. If we do like some rewrites, if we get rid of some of this accumulated tech debt, these types of features are going to be way easier to add in the future. That makes sense. That's like a good like tech debt argument. But to rewrite for the sake of rewriting, or to rewrite for the sake of tech debt, that sounds retarded. If it works, then don't fuck with it. Why the fuck would you start rewriting shit and introduce potentially new problems and stuff, unless it's preventing you or hindering you from making progress in the future? In my opinion, right? That would be my take on it.
That may actually be what Elon Musk is kind of thinking there, but Elon Musk doesn't care about action. As far as I can tell, Elon Musk doesn't really care about explaining to people things, because, he is that kind of awkward, A-word, not ass, but, the other A-word thing, where, he doesn't exactly communicate those things that well. So maybe he is actually thinking that. He probably is, because he's not a complete moron. One of the first things that he did was actually make some kind of code for some kind of thing that he sold in his life, and that's how he got a couple of million. And while it wasn't the best code, he still understands the principle of these things. He 100% could have probably said that. But I think when it comes just to Elon Musk, the moment you try to go for his throat and he perceives you as someone who just wants to make him look bad, I don't think he cares about these things. I think he just cares about making you look bad and him not looking bad. Yeah, those seem like his priorities, honestly.
Oh, yeah, this was the impression of... You're 100% right. Also, shit is normally modular. You never need a total rewrite. You rewrite parts of shit. Yeah, of course, right? Like, it's probably pretty rare these days that, like, some project is built literally from the ground up and all of it is fucking unique code. I'm sure there's, like, a lot of modular development that's, like, taken from other things and worked on by different teams and blah, 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 blah.
Twitter might actually not be the case. I know very little about tech, but the fact that... Just the fact that when Elon Musk took power... and he fired people, and turns out there were people who had unique knowledge about certain aspects of the company that was really hard to replace, because they were the only ones who pretty much did that part, and there was need for some explaining. That means that Twitter could be one of those companies.
When you become really good at something, okay, this was a year ago. This was just 100% correct. I was just so insightful here, okay? When you become really good at something, there's like one or two ways that your mind can split. You either become good at something and then you look at the rest of the world and you're like, man, I know a lot about like music and StarCraft. And I can only imagine like knowing so much about this shit that there must be so much to know about like other topics too, even if it seems simple. So I'm gonna be like a little bit hesitant before I'm like, oh, I have a really great understanding of psychology. I know I do because, you know, like I just do because everything's like, there's probably a lot that I don't know. You can either go that way or you go the other way where it's like, you know what? I'm really good at this one thing. I bet I'm probably really fucking good at literally everything. And I would say
anyone who, by the way, thinks that they're good at one thing, that automatically makes them good at everything else, I doubt that person is actually even good at the thing that they think that they are good at. Those people just don't usually understand that there's a lot of things that they don't understand.
Say that like Jordan Peterson definitely falls in this camp. I would say that Elon Musk unfortunately falls into this camp. I super respect him. I love what he did with SpaceX and Tesla. I think he did a pretty good job. But man, that dude, you can ask him a question about anything and he will talk like he's an expert. Like you can give him 2 rocks and be like, do you know where this came from? And he'll just start making shit up about like time periods on Earth without having any fucking idea because he just feels like he has to be an expert on everything. But
yeah, that's the feeling.
That's true, by the way. Elon Musk would definitely fall under that, but that doesn't make him stupid. This is a false equivalency. The fact that someone falls under that category doesn't necessarily mean that they're stupid. It's a good indicator that they can be stupid or they can be boisterous, but we need to consider Elon Musk as a person. And as a person, he always wants to be in the spotlight. He does always want to be right about things. Like, there's absolutely no denying if we just listen to that call. You know, everyone should probably understand that after listening to that call. But that doesn't make him stupid.
I get from Elon. I'm sorry, I didn't even finish this clip.
No, I mean, like, what do you mean by crazy? No, seriously. Come on, buddy. Come on.
Who are you?
What do you mean, who am I? I don't know. You gave me the fucking mic. I got no clue.
Answering, I don't know, by the way, is really bad. Answering, I don't know is really bad. Because in high positions, people actually expect you to answer in a meaningful way when they ask that question. You know, if someone says like, we need to increase the budget of this thing by 20%, and then some guy says, no, we don't, and you ask them, who are you? I'm the guy who stacks boxes of cleaning powder right there. That's what I do. You know? Boom. It's the most common thing.
Whoa, I'm doing the mic, and let's...
It's like the one guy that asked, like, what is an NFT? Like, bro, if you're going to invite me to speak on something that I'm familiar about, yeah, I'm going to knowledge dump you, right? Like, if somebody wants to ask me, like, oh, well, what is an NFT? Depending on the... Depending on like what we're talking about, like I'm gonna dump
non-fungible token. What does non-fungible token mean? I don't know.
A ton of information on you. If you want to like challenge me in this area, we can see like who knows what and then like go from there. But this is like, who are you? It makes it sound like...
Yeah, but when you challenge someone on information like this, I have watched Disney's videos before. A lot of people bring up books. How many books have you read on the subject? I don't think is actually the best way, because someone can read 100 books on a subject but still be kind of stupid about it. It's the same deal as someone can work in the most coveted firm in a country, but, you know, they're actually stupid and shitty, but, you know, the firm is owned by his family, so he gets there. And these are very common things.
Like, it makes it sound like, yeah, you're just posturing.
Let's keep it civil in my space.
I mean,
Yeah.
Like what? No, man.
Is there
you're
anything
entirely-
left?
Especially if you're asking for a total rewrite, you don't have one fucking reason you can cite. What the fuck is wrong with you? How fucking stupid are you? Like, does he know anything about, like, what does he do? Now I want to know. What does Elon actually do?
That also, it makes Destiny look so absolutely out of water here and out of that, because Elon Musk doesn't have to do anything when it comes to Twitter and code. That's not. The Twitter CEO's decisions are not based on, oh, look at this line of code. The fact that he thinks that that is important is just absolutely wild to me. It is just absolutely just such a dead giveaway that he has no idea what he's talking about. The fact that you could even remotely insinuate that Elon Musk should understand the code of Twitter is just like, mind-blowing.
It's nothing in the development or programming world, right? I can say that.
In the development world, no. Elon Musk is I will say what Elon Musk most likely does. He most likely has a bunch of people that he says, hey, we should do this for Twitter and that for Twitter and so on. And then they give reasoning why that should be good, why that should be bad, or whatever. And then they make it happen. CEOs are in a lot of cases also people who are confident enough just to push innovation, even in some in some situations, because being stagnant for a company is kind of bad. You always need to innovate to a degree.
With certainty. Nothing. Like, so what does he do?
What does he do in Tesla? What does he do in SpaceX? From Disney's view, it's probably also nothing. Because he doesn't know how CEOs function, because he doesn't have actual experience in these things. And his biggest experience probably is some friend saying something to him, or maybe, you know, him having employees when it comes to making YouTube videos. It's completely uncomparable. That's not a
the
word.
servers and the programming, whatever. Like, what is the stack?
Elon, keep things technical in my space, please.
Take me from top to bottom. What does the stack look like right now?
Also, the absolute audacity of that guy to fucking expect that Elon Musk is gonna take him from top to bottom is also a level of absolute just... You know someone's just unhappy about something when they say that.
Venture capitalist business world. True.
So crazy about it. What's so abnormal about this stack versus every other large-scale system on the planet, buddy? Come on, give it to me.
All right, so first off...
Amazing. Wow, you're a jackass.
Okay.
And he has no answer. He has totally no fucking idea what he's talking about.
Again, first, I think he does have an answer if you actually needed to give an answer, but Elon Musk doesn't care. He just cares about the fact that someone's intentionally trying to make him look bad, and that's probably one of the worst things in the world for him, because he has already gotten a lot of success, a lot of things done, you know? So, he probably cares about his image way more than anything here. Like, the fact that you think that Elon Musk actually needs to answer you is insane. The fact that you think that in this situation it matters for the future of Twitter, that Elon Musk can't answer that, is insane. Elon Musk just cares about his ego here more than anything else. That's it.
Okay.
All right, no. I got no.
Now, he could have attacked Elon Musk here for being absolutely obsessed with his ego, and that would actually be decent. Then I would not be making this video. But it's the fact that it's just blatantly reeks of absolute zero experience how these sort of things function. Because again, he peaked as a carpet cleaner. You're not exactly gonna understand knowledge how businesses function from peaking as a carpet cleaner. It's true.
No credibility here, buddy. I got no idea.
First off, let's keep my space civil.
Here, you know, like
we removed him from.
Also, I think this was actually it, because we're not gonna get into these parts because I don't care about them.
Speakers.
Jesus.
Okay, closing
Longer clip of this
thoughts.
call.
Apparently, this guy's in DGG chat.
Jason, which
I
is
understand
that?
he's in here, but I don't know what we would talk about. Apparently, this is him. Tag. I don't know what we would talk about. I'm not the one from this specific clip. I'm the guy from the ads clip. Oh yeah, I listened to you from the ads clip. It's yeah. I don't know if. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Do you see this post? What you were describing about ads are, personally, I know that's true for Google AdSense, and I know that's true for Facebook. That I don't just throw like $1,000 on Facebook and say, hey, advertise me. Like, usually if you go through the process of buying ads, at least as a small business on Facebook, it'll be like, I want to show my ad to this people and this demographic that have like these interests.
Yeah, this is very correct. Again, Elon Musk is all about ego. That's why he said you're completely wrong. Because that guy was not wrong, but maybe Elon Musk is actually going from the idea that that's not the only way you can do it. There are multiple ways that you can do those things. It kind of depends, and there are nuances there. But again, when it comes to Elon Musk, it's more about ego than anything else. And for Destiny, oof, big fucking no. This horrible take.
Facebook lets you target, like...
And I think this is pretty much it, yeah. Man, got through a lot here, Jesus Christ. An opinion so wrong, based on nothing. Pretty funny. Anyway, like and subscribe. Bye-bye.